They want to know, is there any symbolism in the layout of the runways in the quarries?
Yes, there is. Tell you the guy's very vigilant. I'm glad. And number one, that proves that I told you. You can go right to it.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him to circle around Groom Lake and look for the dots and zoom in on them as close as you can. You can see their entry holes. You get near one of them entry holes right there and you'll be vaporized. You'll never get that close. The closest you'll ever get to Area 51 is what you're just now looking at.
You would think they would have it blacked out there on Google.
Well, what does that tell you?
Means they're, I don't know, putting a gun in your face. They look, we blast or what? I don't know.
No, they're letting you in on the deal.
Really?
They got to let the cat out of the bag sometime, Daniel, to have one world order. You just can't keep everything secret and catch everybody by surprise, or you'll have total resistance.
You got to work them down.
You got to work them down. You got to let people like me and you, who are probably going to eventually be martyred over this stuff, ease people into it.
Well, I'm not really volunteering to be martyred. Maybe I need to get me an organ blaster.
You know, you're doing the right thing.
Susan.
I think
All right.
you have some really credible guests on there. And,
got to do
people didn't know all this stuff.
Right.
What we're trying to do, folks, is trying to tell you what's coming, and it is coming.
In what time frame is it coming?
It's going to happen.
This year?
Huh?
This year?
Some of it.
All right.
I believe that by the end of 2009 that we'll have martial law imposed.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe the Great Tribulation has already started.
Question.
I believe Benjamin Baruch will agree with that.
All right. We have this question. Do reptilians rule the hollow earth? I guess that's two questions, really. Is there a hollow earth, for one?
You know, those sounds from hell, I've heard that. And what I believe those are echoes that are trapped in there from previous purgatory. So, is there a hollow earth? I don't know. Was that tape real from Siberia? I think so. I know so. I know it was really classified. And it finally got leaked out. And they didn't kill or persecute anybody, but the story goes, you don't know the rest of the story about when they opened up that hole, a giant dark entity came out of it. And all those people around there died. Some of them committed suicide. They were ordered immediately to cover that hole up. And some of them that were there went insane, but I do remember that a bat-shaped object, black, giant, bird-looking thing came out of there and flew off. So they let something out.
And where was that?
Siberia.
Okay. And it still may be flying around, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
Yeah, the sounds from hell that you have on there.
Yeah.
On your webs.
Yeah.
Don't you have the, isn't that where it's at?
Yeah.
From the Art Bell show?
Yeah. Yeah, we have it up there.
Yeah, that's the real thing.
Okay. We have.
That's not fake. That's not a fake one.
Okay.
Because I've heard the real one. I heard it when I was in the military.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I had access to archives and documents that the president doesn't even have access to. This president, now, I would imagine, since he's part of the bloodline in the Illuminati, I would imagine he's got access to anything he wants. But to be a Christian, I see a lot of things he does that's not Christian-oriented.
Mm-hmm. Somebody wrote this question. In the movie V about reptilians, they saw one reptilian named Willie that sided with the humans and helped them. Are there good reptilians?
No. You got to remember the grooming. You just think that they're going to come in peace. And the Bible even says that when he wins people over by peace and flattery. Everybody thinks that peace is going to be achieved through war, but no, he comes peacefully. This whole thing's going to be a euphoric type of peace. Everybody, the cat's finally out of bag. We know what's going on. And because they're fixing to kill you. They're murderers.
We have
They
this.
hate you.
Okay, we have this question, and actually, there's two questions here. One, a listener wants to know: does the Bible mention shape shifting? And then, strangely, I got another email from a person that says Ephesians 6:12 may talk about spiritual shapeshifters. Is shape shifting in the Bible anywhere that you know?
Yeah, I mean, it talks about the devil, and it talks about demons that come in many forms, and Ephesians 6:12, isn't it, where we don't struggle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yeah.
I think if I was a true believer, I'd shape-shift and wear the whole armor of God.
All right, well, point taken on that one.
I mean, folks, the only thing that you're going to have is the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, and that's going to be soon taken away.
Has anyone, any special forces attacked these underground bases, try to free these kids that you know of?
I don't know about that, but I know that Operation Archangel went deep into the kiddie porn world and tried to free the children. The kiddie porn industry headquarters lies in Japan. They get smuggled from here and through South America, and from there they're sent to Japan. I do know that as a fact. And there's about 7,000 missing children a year from here.
I don't know. I think it's more like 150,000. I mean, on the back of milk cartons it says 150,000.
Yeah, you may be right. I'm just.
It's a huge number.
But, I mean, come on. Think about it. When you're walking down the street, let's say in Chicago or a big city, how many people do you think you walk by that are serial killers and murderers? Just in one. Well, you walk down 3 city blocks, it's full of people. How many serial killers, murderers, reptilians, demons, and whatever that you think you walk by? You
know what? I gotta agree with you on that. I've been there.
You ever think about that?
Yeah, of course I think about it. I think it's, you know what? Maybe it's my own premonition, man's intuition, but sometimes I feel like some of the people I'm around at certain times aren't human, and it's like, why am I thinking that?
Yeah, and you might be on a bus and you have a conversation with a guy, and you might have just had a conversation with a guy who's killed 500 kids.
Whoa.
You mean, think about it. It said in Genesis that it'll be like in the days of Noah, and in the days of Noah it says that God looked upon the earth and saw that man's heart was evil continuously. Mm-hmm. And I believe that's where I believe we've surpassed that type of evil.
We have this.
I believe we've surpassed it.
I would say, yeah. I mean, and I would agree that America is probably the world's exporter in evil. That's for sure. Along with all.
Yeah, America's going to go down first in this ordeal because we're the superpower. You can't have a one world order with a superpower. Yeah. You can't.
All right. And listen, we have this question from the live chat. Is there any link between reptilians and the pyramids?
I believe so. I mean, I can't come up with no logical. They come up with all these gadgets that they could use to put them together, but I just don't think that's possible.
Do you think?
I think those things had to be lifted up by a force because they're carefully placed, and even if you could create something of that magnitude, that was able to lift something up like that, it would have to be a high-tech design. And you couldn't pull up ropes and all this stuff and get the weight of those things with, I don't care how many people used, because there's only so many, you got a mass of something, there's only so many people that can surround that mass and put their hands on it, am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
You got a house.
What do you